Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Sunday, November 24th, 2024. So, on a numerically interesting day, did you do the crossword?
I did. It is a numerically interesting day, isn't it? 2024. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did do it on 2024.
Oh, good.
Or 2024. I did do it this afternoon.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And how'd you find it?
Oh, it was an entertaining puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little trouble deciphering the theme, but it came to me eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me about an hour, like it usually does. So yeah. But it was a nice solve for a Sunday afternoon.
Well, I got it filled out and, of course, had a mistake. Oh. And, whenever it's a mistake on a Sunday, I just look out at the sea of letters and I'm like, I'm going to be here a while. But I sort of did look at the theme. I didn't really understand the theme either. And I looked at it carefully and eventually realized that everything going across was supposed to be some sort of a seafaring vessel. Mm-hmm. And so I had, I was guessing at 51 down, the NBA coach Steve, and I had guessed wrong. Mm. I had turned out his last name starts with a K. Yes. And I needed that to get arc.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so the theme actually helped me.
Well, good.
Once I sort of grasped it.
Good. Well, I had a mistake too, and it was kind of funny because 31 down was individual speech patterns, which I wasn't sure of, but it turned out to be idiolects. Mm-hmm. And I put idiolects. So that meant that 49 across, hardly any, I had not a lat. Uh-huh. And I'm like, I don't know if that's right or not. But I was thinking not a tad or not a bit.
Right.
But I had not a lat. So I get through the whole puzzle, and of course there's a mistake, and I'm like, I wanted to look at something else real quickly, and just as I was switching to another page, I saw that not a lat, and I'm like, not a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I changed the A to an O, and it solved the puzzle.
Wow.
So, but I just glanced at that out of the corner of my eye. I thought, I'm not going to find this. I'm just going to look at something else for a few minutes, and then I'll come back to it. Right. And just as I was leaving it, I saw that not a lat, and I'm like, oh, it's not a lot. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, a lot of times, your brain is sort of telling you there's a problem, and then you just sort of wanted to say, oh, don't worry about it, brain. It's probably just some word I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like not a lat.
Mm-hmm. Or idiolects.
Mm-hmm. They did actually have, interestingly enough, 71 down. Small card for a short message was notelet.
Yes.
So you had not a lot and notelet.
Yes.
Sort of similar.
Never heard of a notelet, but I'll take their word.
That sounds
it's a real thing.
That sounds made up.
Notelet.
Of course, to me, 75 across also sounds made up. Classic candy company, Necco.
No, that's a classic candy company.
Yeah, actually, I think I knew it. I just wasn't sure.
Necco wafers.
I wasn't sure how to spell it.
Necco.
Now I know.
Yep.
Until I forget.
Mm-hmm. So, well, maybe we should talk about the theme.
Okay.
Because it was very clever.
Yes.
Once you figure out what was going on, it was very clever. And the name of the theme is very important because otherwise it would make no sense at all. Shape up or ship out. That's the name of the puzzle today. And that is really exactly what you have in this puzzle. Within the puzzle, there are several circled squares. They're always in a line, and some are going horizontally, and some are going vertically. And the theme is if you see one going vertically, it turns out if you answer it correctly and read it from bottom to top, you'll see a shape. For example, 25 across which is going across. Citrusy breakfast treat. And the answer turned out to be a lemons C, or lemon SC. But the C was circled, and there were 3 other circled squares above it. And that clue was 8 down. Cain raised him. And the answer to that was Enoch. And so you had the C from Enoch, and if you read it upward, you got C-O-N-E, or cone, which is a shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, on the other hand, you've got 50 across, which has some circled letters going across. And the clue there was a paging device. The answer turned out to be barkeeper, which makes no sense at all. But if you look at the circled letters, which are the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, you have A, R, and K in there.
Right.
Ark, which is a kind of flotation device, I guess.
Seagoing vessel.
Yeah, a seagoing vessel. Or ship, I guess we should say. If you take that ark out, you get the word beeper, which is a paging device.
Right.
So you get shape up. When you read the letters going upward, they are a shape. And ship out, if you read the letters going horizontally and you take them out of the word, they are a ship.
Right.
Another one, which it made no sense at all when I was doing it, but 64 across was nickname, and the last 5 letters were circled. The answer was Dubliner, like someone from Dublin. Dubliner. But if you take the last 5 letters out, you get liner, L-I-N-E-R, which is a kind of ship. And you're left with dub, which is a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
A-dub. So anyway, that was the clue.
So one thing about the shape up, you have to read the shape up as the end of the clue that's going across.
That's right.
So when you had lemon SC, it actually became lemon scone.
That is correct. Yes.
So
that is correct.
Another example, 26 across, Sue Bird or Larry Bird. You had basketballs if you just read it across, but then above the S you had TAR, and that forms a shape star, and then you get basketball star.
Right, and that star, if you read it the other way, is the answer to 16 down, phooey or rats.
Yes.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
so shaping up and shipping out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it took Alex Eaton Solner's many years to construct this. I think he started.
I could believe it. You'd have to think of words that had ships names within them, and then you would have to think of shapes that, if spelled backwards, would be part of a real word.
Right.
So yeah, I can see where it would take a very long time. But that's a great theme, shape up or ship out.
Yes.
And just very clever puzzle.
And this was Alex Eaton Solner's 72nd New York Times crossword. Yeah. He is definitely a veteran.
I guess.
Looks like he likes to do lots of Thursdays.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he's done 5 Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. Well,
5 Sundays.
This is, this is such a clever gimmick. I can see why he'd probably be very good at Thursdays.
Right.
Oh.
Let's see. There were other interesting clues and answers in today's puzzle. We had one down, spice blend. I went for rum. I'm not quite sure why, but it turned out to be rub.
Rub, yes.
Because for a while I had meef adobo, and I was trying to figure out what's meef, but it sounded much better as beef.
Beef adobo,
with
yes.
rub.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 13 down. That was put together, so I went for assemble.
Oh.
But it was organized.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
And in that same area, we had a few interesting clues. 20 across, cheer for a diva. I went for bravo.
I did originally, yes.
But it was brava.
Brava, yes, so that you could get the A in star or rats, whichever way you're reading it.
Mm-hmm.
You needed an A there.
And directly underneath that, shoelace protector was an aglet.
That's right.
It's been a while since we've seen aglet in the crossword, but it seems to me that that was a fairly common clue. It showed up a total of 107 times.
Oh, my.
It first showed up in, it's going to take a while to get to it, 1948.
Wow.
Clued as spangle.
Oh.
I'll take their word for it. This was by Louise Rabb. Who?
Wow. Spangle.
Yes.
Aglet.
Yep.
I suppose maybe those were considered decorative back in the 40s or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Uh-huh.
Looks like pretty much every cluing in recent times has been talking about the shoelace, though.
Well, I think that's really its only definition. So, I mean, I can't think how else you would use aglet in a sentence.
Well, in 1988, someone tried for ornamental stud and ornamental pin.
Never heard that. I've always just heard it as the end of a shoelace. So, you were mentioning the basketball coach, 51 down, NBA coach Steve Kerr, and I knew that because just a couple days ago, sometimes I do the apple puzzle, and that was a clue.
Oh.
And so I remembered it. I'm like, oh, we just had that. But I'm like, no, we didn't. I saw it in another puzzle.
Yeah, I think if I'd seen it, I probably would have remembered it from a couple of days ago.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. What else do we have? 20 down. Pachyderm of Kidlit was Babar.
Ah, yes. That brought back memories.
I know. I think that's my favorite book of all time.
There were many Babar books, but yes.
We had 28 across. Part of a certain chain was Daisy.
Yes.
Now, we've had Daisy a lot lately.
We just had Daisy yesterday with Scout, like a
with a
scout
troop.
group. Yeah.
Right. 73 across looked pretty dubious to me. 73 across being was of service to, steaded.
Yes. Yes, I had a little trouble with that. So
I didn't quite believe it. And then we had 73 down, meeting informally was sesh.
S-E-S-H.
I knew that one. Yep.
I knew that one.
That's...
So that steaded crossed with 56 down, ancient, old as time. I never think of saying old as time to mean ancient, but I guess it does.
It seems to me I remember that from a Disney song, Tale as Old as Time.
Well, yes, that's from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
but I guess it means ancient, old as time.
I think so. I mean, time is pretty old. Time would have started at the beginning of the universe, so.
Yep. I thought 114 was an interesting clue. One of 30+ million Americans, Texan.
Yes.
Lots of people live down in Texas. More than I realized.
And I had something other than an X at some point. I had TE something AN, but then 107 down was Alliance of Powers, and it turned out to be Axis.
That's right.
No idea what I had there instead. Maybe it was a V.
I put NATO for a while.
Oh,
but
that would have been good.
Axis is more generic. NATO is a specific, countries there. Alliance of Powers.
Two below Texan, we had 123 across, where Molson Coors is TAP, and TAP was in all caps. And the answer was NYSE,
That's
New York
right.
Stock Exchange.
I can recognize those now when I see
Really?
that. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I know it.
Oh.
Stock exchange.
Yeah, I had no idea.
If it's like 3 or 4 letters capitalized, then I know it's stock exchange.
I'll try and bear that in mind. 118 down, corny sound effect was pop.
Yes.
That was pretty funny. And then, let's see, also in that area, 121 across, clicking sounds, ahas.
Right. Yeah, I put tisk to start with.
Oh.
But aha, I guess, means, clicking sound. When something clicks, you say, aha.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Did you just have an aha moment just then?
I did.
Wow.
I did. Is that 16? Yeah, 116 across. Mid-air collision of sorts. I was like stumped. I'm like, what could that be? turned out to be chest bump.
Yes, that was funny.
Like, they couldn't think what word would describe a mid-air collision of sorts.
Of sorts. Mm-hmm. Right next to it, 115 across, Elizabeth's house, Tudor.
That's right.
That was cute, I thought.
Yeah.
And let's see if there's anything else here. I think that's pretty much all that I've got.
125 across. I think that's a kind of a newish one for the Times. Epithet for a GOP moderate, maybe. Rhino. I'm sure it's been used, but I'm wondering, has it ever been used with that as the clue?
Wait, how do you normally abbreviate rhino? Isn't it RHINO?
Yeah.
So as RINO, it's shown up a total of 3 times. In 1952, 1983, and today.
Yeah, I thought that's a new one.
In 1952, it was clued as money slang. And in 1983, this was a Saturday, and it was in 1983 when they knew how to write Saturday crosswords, it was clued as epicarp.
Epicarp? What's that?
I know, that sounds...
It's a rhino.
that sounds like some sort of evil insurance company. Hello, Epicarp, can I help you? Something's fishy about this place. I don't know.
Now that we have rhino, maybe we'll see MAGA and I don't know what else, but more political acronyms.
I hope not. I hope they keep the politics out of the crossword. So, all right. Well, that is it for today then. So, thanks everyone for listening.
Yep.
We'll be back again with our cutting edge analysis of Monday's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.